Good evening. Welcome to Raaonline. We'll see the last isolated valve lesion in acquired valve diseases, tricuspid valve disease. We have only one more topic left, mixed valve disease and prosthetic heart valves. We'll finish it in the next session. With that, we'll complete the valvular heart disease. Tricuspid valve is a very complicated valve, both in structure and function. If you see a normal tricuspid valve apparatus, it is not placed horizontally like the mitral valve. It is placed almost vertical, like 45 degrees to the sagittal plane. So we'll see the apparatus in detail. So the area of the tricuspid valve is the largest, that is 7 to 9 square centimeter. If you compare it to the aortic and mitral valve area, it is almost 1.5 times of that of the aortic area is about 3 to 4 square centimeter. Mitral valve is 4 to 6 square centimeters. So this is about 1.5 times larger. The area of tricuspid valve is larger. So the structure of the tricuspid valve, it is a D-shaped or a saddle-shaped valve. It is not placed horizontally like I said earlier. It is a very complex structure placed 45 degrees almost vertical to the sagittal plane. There are 3 leaflets, anterior, posterior and septal leaflets. The anterior is the largest of the 3. The septal leaflet is a flat structure while anterior and posterior leaflets are curved structures. So there are 3 commissures. The anteroseptal commissure. So this is the anteroseptal commissure. So you can see the 3 leaflets, anterior leaflets, which is the largest septal and posterior leaflet. So among this, the septal leaflet is flat while anterior and posterior leaflet are curved structures. So anterior leaflet is closely related to the aorta and the septal leaflet is in close relation with the triangle, Cox triangle, so the AV node. You can see the 3 commissures. The highest of the commissure is the anteroseptal commissure. It is placed very high. And the lowest of the commissure is the posteroseptal commissure. So this is represented like a flat valve, but it is like this, the anteroseptal commissure being the highest and the posteroseptal being the lowest. So the height from the anteroseptal to the posteroseptal is 7 millimeter. So the mediolateral distance between the anteroseptal commissure and the posterior leaflet, from the medial to the lateral side, the tricuspid valve measures 1/3 longer than its height. So these are the 3 valve leaflets. While this is like any other mitral valve or any other valve, it is supported by subvalve apparatus, which we can see here. So the subvalve apparatus, you can see the normal tricuspid structure of the tricuspid valve here. So the 3 leaflets, anterior, septal and posterior leaflets. Here it is a congenital variant, quadricuspid tricuspid valve. And there are 2 papillary muscles, anterior and posterior. The anterior papillary muscle is the largest papillary muscle. It has to supply the large leaflet. It has to support the large anterior leaflet. While the posterior papillary muscle can be bicuspid or a tricuspid variation, and it supports the septal leaflet also. So there can be a variation in that the septal papillary muscles are all like comb-like structures, and they can be, there might be an additional structure called a moderator band, which is also a subvalve apparatus in the tricuspid valve. So this tricuspid leaflet is in close proximity with aorta one side, the tendon of Toder on the AV node on the other side, and also the RCA, right coronary artery, which courses around the tricuspid valve. So this is the tricuspid valve is the most apically placed valve. When you compare with a mitral valve, a tricuspid valve is normally 8 millimeter apically placed. So you can see this is the position of the interatrial septum or the interventricular septum. So there is this amount of distance, 8 millimeter distance between the attachment of the mitral valve and the tricuspid valve, because the tricuspid valve is more apically placed. So you can identify this defect when there is a defect in this septum. It is a interventricular septum. There is a left ventricle to RA shunt. This is called a Gerbody defect, which we saw earlier.